This is the Yankees Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yanks are certainly world beaters when they face inferior opponents. Tonight, a perfect example of that. The Yankees rough up the Nationals in the Bronx. Final score 10-5, wasn't even that close. 3 more home runs for the Bombers. Jazz, Rice, and Dominguez doing the honors. As for the pitching, most of it at least, covered by Cam Schlittler. Another 6 scoreless for the rookie. He looked impressive. What else is new? Meanwhile, both Boston and Toronto won, so the Yanks keep pace with both. They remain a half game back of Boston in the standings, 5.5 back in the division of Toronto. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. Please follow me on X as well. At Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees Postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The Postcast gives you a place to chat after every game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Before we begin, let's tell you this episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, it's a blowout, despite the fact that the Nationals scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning. It included a Jacob Young grand slam off Mark Leiter Jr. Now, obviously, no hiding it, not the way the Yankees wanted to finish tonight. However, they did not use any of their high leverage relievers. In fact, they only used 2 of them. And the only reason Leiter was in there was because De Los Santos, who was pitching prior to him, had already thrown 47 pitches in nearly 3 innings of work. So again, that's where the 5 runs come from. And by the way, Jacob Young, who hit the grand slam for Washington, his first home run of the year. Meanwhile, we'll get to the Yankees offense. We have to start with Cam Schlittler, who is really good at pitching. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks through 96 pitches. His season ERA continues to plummet. It is now 2.76. Just some stats. In 5 starts in August for Schlittler, that includes tonight, 27 2/3 innings pitched, an ERA of 1.63, an opponent's batting average number of 188, 31 strikeouts, just 10 walks. And of those 10 walks, 3 of them came tonight. So again, he has been lights out. And again, 6 scoreless tonight, essentially meaning all the high leverage relievers, anybody that pitched in the last couple of days, had the night off. That includes Weaver and Williams, and obviously Blackburn, who threw 71 pitches. But again, Bednar as well. In fact, there was some thought that Bednar would have to get up and throw some warm-up pitches if Leiter couldn't get out of the trouble in that 9th inning, despite the fact that he'd already given up the grand slam. Luckily, Bednar did not need to get up and warm up. But again, Yanks would like to clean up that situation late. De Los Santos throwing probably too many pitches, and then Mark Leiter Jr. having to get up and throw 7, which included obviously the grand slam. But again, Schlittler, so good. So good. He's really finding himself. And you know, if the playoffs started anytime soon, Schlittler would be one of your starters, probably your 3rd starter behind Fried and Rodon. But again, still plenty of time left, roughly a month. 30 now. The Yankees have played 130 games. So they have 32 remaining. Now to the offense. As we said, 3 more home runs. Ben Rice hit a home run. For Rice, the home run is 21st. Jazz Chisholm Jr. hit a home run, his 25th. Jason Dominguez hit a home run, his 10th. And we've got notes on all 3. Here we go. For Rice, 4 home runs in the last 9 games for really a utility player at this point. He plays first base. He catches. He's a DH. So again, many ways to get Ben Rice in the lineup, and it's something the Yanks are going to have to do daily now because his bat is just too valuable. So again, 4 home runs in the last 9 games. The home run tonight, 435 feet, the longest of his career. He doesn't hit cheap home runs either. Bombs. So again, good night for Ben Rice. For Jazz, he continues to smoke the baseball. 6 home runs in his last 13 games. His 25th of the season, as we said, that's a single season career high now. Jazz last year at 24, obviously between Miami and New York, 25. The first time he's hit 25 home runs in a season. In fact, he now has 25 home runs and more than 20 stolen bases on the season. The last Yankee to go 25-20 was Curtis Granderson all the way back in 2011. He was the last to do it before Jazz has attained that goal this year. Again, 25-20. Curtis Granderson, the last to do it all the way back in 2011. So it's been nearly 15 years, a decade and a half. So we told you about the Rice home run. We told you about the Jazz home run. Let's tell you about the Dominguez home run, which sort of came out of nowhere. It felt like at 7-0, the game was over. And that's when Dominguez deposited one in the right field seats for Jason. And obviously this comes with a caveat because he rarely plays now. But his first home run since July 23rd. Folks, looking at the calendar right now, it is August 25th, a month and 2 days since Dominguez's last home run. And again, we understand how things have sort of found their level here with Judge coming back, with Stanton coming back. There's just not going to be a lot of playing time, certainly not every single day, and certainly not against lefties for Dominguez. All right, as we said, 10-5, the final score. Yanks are 70-60. The winning pitcher, Cam Schlittler, as we said, now 2-2. Believe it or not, just his second win of the season. Every single Yankee starter had at least one hit. Every single Yankee starter, with one exception, scored a run. Ryan McMahon did not score a run. He was the only Yankee starter not to score a run. As we said, every Yankee starter had at least one hit. 2 hits for Trent, 2 hits for Cody, 2 hits for Goldie. Everybody had one. So again, an excellent night all around for the Yankees. Now, we told you on Saturday that there was a chance either Sunday or Monday the Yanks would activate Fernando Cruz. Long time coming. Will be a welcome sight in that Yankee bullpen whenever he returns. Well, he didn't come back Sunday. He didn't come back tonight, but we now know he will at least be active for the Yankees tomorrow's game. So Fernando Cruz will be activated tomorrow. Likely spells the end of Yerry De Los Santos, which is perhaps why, or almost certainly why, he threw 47 pitches tonight. And the splits weren't even that good, only threw 29 strikes. But again, 2 2/3, 4 earned. Obviously, the grand slam didn't help, but 2 walks and 3 Ks. So again, De Los Santos throws nearly 50 pitches in 2 2/3, and he's going to get the boot because Fernando Cruz is coming back, and that makes perfect sense. Now, we thought there was a chance it would be Blackburn, who, again, threw 71 pitches over the weekend. But it looks like it'll be De Los Santos, and Blackburn lives to fight another day, at least in a Yankees uniform. All right, so the Yankees win it 10-5. As we said, both Boston and Toronto won. Toronto wins big. The Red Sox were down at Camden Yards 3-1 to the Orioles. Jarren Duran hit a 3-run shot, turned things around. and the Red Sox win it 4-3. So the Yanks remain a half game back of Boston. We'll focus first on the wild card. Boston has the top spot. They're a half game in front of the Yankees. And then the Mariners are currently in the third spot with the Royals and Guardians nipping at the heels of Seattle. Again, Yanks a half game back of Boston for the top wild card spot in the American League. They're also a half game behind Boston in the AL East standings. That's where Toronto, as we said, wins again. So the Yankees remain 5.5 back of the Blue Jays, and we're certainly by no stretch counting out the division as of yet. But again, you need to know the numbers. All right, we'll do player of the game. We'll do the pitching matchups for the rest of the series coming up. And again, things are going to get easy. The Yanks are going to rough up the Nationals, and they're going to rough up their next opponent as well, the Chicago White Sox. But trust me, it gets more difficult after that. We'll be right back. And again, we'll do probables and player of the game. All right, time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. All right, golf, as you know, is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of the 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. All right, up next, August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day. That's tomorrow. A brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even starts, this is your moment. So take a flyer on the MVP race. How about Josh Allen? Crown your champion in August. How about those Buffalo Bills? Or parlay your division winner, dark horses. Visit the FanDuel app today. Start planning your futures bets now because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. All right, we are back.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right, it's Cam Schlittler tonight, who once again was brilliant. We told you this stat. It bears repeating. 5 starts in August for the big guy. 27 2/3 innings pitched. ERA at 1.63. Opponent batting average at 1.88. 31 Ks and 10 walks. Again, that's in 5 starts in August, and that includes tonight's 6 innings of scoreless baseball. Did walk 3, struck out 8 through 96 pitches. His season ERA is 2.76, and he gets the game ball. So congrats to Cam Schlittler. We told you about the schedule. 2 more with the Nats. Heel Gore tomorrow night. Fried Cavalli on Wednesday. So again, Luis Heel, Mackenzie Gore on Tuesday. Max Fried, Cade Cavalli on Wednesday. Obviously, the advantages go to the Yankees on both sides of the ball. So 2 more with Washington. Tomorrow night, Wednesday afternoon, little getaway day. Then the Yanks are off to the south side. 4 with the White Sox, who, quite frankly, are terrible. Yanks should rough them up as well. So if we include tonight, that's 7 games, really the next week of games, against Washington and Chicago, 2 of the worst teams on the planet. So for some reason, if the Yanks don't win minimum 5 or 6, it's probably a bad week. Because after that, from Chicago to Houston, from Houston back to New York, but they host the Blue Jays and then the Tigers. So again, after Chicago and And Washington, it's Houston, Toronto, Detroit, and Boston. So very difficult for the Yankees after this easy stretch, which you know they're going to pound on the Nats and the White Sox, but still, these are must-wins. We're at 30 games to go in the season. Yanks are fighting for their playoff lives. They have inferior opponents, and they've been bullies all year long in a good way. They're beating up on the teams they should. Unfortunately, and we'll deal with it at a later date, they're not beating the teams on their level. But again, we can only play what's in front of us. We have the Nats and the White Sox for the next week. All right, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. It's MLB Game Night. Find it on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees. They're the best. Stacey Gitsoulias and Brian McKeon. Again, all the stuff at Locked On Yankees is theirs. So follow, subscribe, and enjoy. Again, 10-5, the final score. Boston wins. Toronto wins. No blood across the board in the American League East and the American League wild card race. Again, tomorrow night, it is Heel and Gore, and we'll be with you immediately following that one as well. Have a great night, everyone.